solos is that's minor pentatonic, and that this 3 frets below is the major pentatonic, and it's the same shapes. And so the thinking is this is blues, and this is major. Now they're two very, very different sounds. We've talked before about mixing up major and minor, which is cool, you know, like. So that's both, right? It's not. That's major. I'm going to show you how to play minor pentatonic in the same spot you play major pentatonic. Now this, maybe some people are like, duh, we already knew this. I'm going to come clean and say, I never really thought about this until the last couple years. So you're in C, and I'm sorry that the screen is flipped for the selfie camera, but so this idea, that's the pentatonic. I want you to think of the C across the equator, and this is sort of above ground, and this is sort of below ground. So everyone is always thinking about, here's C, everything happens above it. What I think is really interesting is, here's C, let's be symmetrical and move out this way and out this way. And the way you would do that is go, instead of, you're really just moving. So I'm going to show you what that's like. This is playing a minor pentatonic in C, but in that same area as a major. So that's really in the same spot as major, but you're playing it in minor, and what that means is that the ergonomics of it are flipped, and I'll show you what I mean. So a lot of what guitar players play is based on what's available to them in terms of hammer-ons and pull-offs. But there's all these, it gets inverted when you go, so take this. That way, but it's not really shaped that way in terms of kicking off. So we've all done that if you want to get around it, or versus. It's so much fun. So if we're in C, I'm going to play everything underneath that equator line. Major. Now I'm back into the standard pentatonic. So if you think about it, like, that's not a capo. You can move that anywhere you want. You can take it off at any time. So I really wanted to get into that first. So what that also does is helps connect all the minor pentatonics on the neck. So if you're in C, a lot of people are like, they immediately go, that voodoo child spot. But if you use that reshaping of the major pentatonic, you have it in the standard spot. You just went. And then of course you got the B.B. King spot. Let's go from that all the way down. actually helps, because what we've been doing is thinking about it like, that's my pentatonic, well, there's my major pentatonic, and I don't want to play that, so I'm going to jump over it. But if you reconstitute that major pentatonic scale as a minor, then now you have that much more to do. So that's sort of the chapter one of it all, is it's just a different flavor to play with. That's minor, major. That's really hard to do. So it just sounds different because you can tell, your ear can tell that's not a standard shape. Even though the notes are pretty much the same, that's really fun. So let's do it in a different key. So the second chapter of my thinking that I wanted to show you is the idea that you already know how to play the guitar. If you've learned the pentatonic and you've played along to blues records and rock records and you've soloed for a while, you already have all the moving parts. What we're all learning how to do is think that to do that then. So you know all the letters in the alphabet. They're very easy to learn on the guitar. And then that's the minute to learn. And the lifetime to master part is how you sort of implement it and how you think. So at a certain point, all learning guitar from records is going, oh, you would do that then. Oh, okay, so you're not learning how to play that type of thing. You're learning that you can play that type of thing at that point in time. So like, let me show you some playing that you would know how to play if you soloed and played guitar. You would just know how to do it. For instance, let's change. Let's go to B flat. So let's say that's your, just think you can slide. Right? Right? Just slide into the first note. When I started doing that, I was like, oh, I never thought to slide into the first note. So they're all taste decisions. And a lot of times we're thinking of, but again, if you want to combine the first chapter I was telling you with this one is, yeah. Well, you should be going until you mess up. If you play and you haven't messed up, you should keep playing, and then you won't mess up. So that's what I kind of wanted to show. I don't have the pick I love, but that's part of being a guitar player. Let me turn up a little more gain, a little more treble. Wish there was a band. I mean, I wish people could have bands right now. So, spot in D. perfect example of how you can tell it's not the standard. If you wanted to do it in normal, it'd be, which you could do, but it just doesn't come to mind ergonomically. Also, different parts of the neck, the note sounds different, even if it's the same note as a different string somewhere else. And ergonomically, having to hold... then you can feel a little more familiar. Hard to do in the normal spot. You really couldn't go. So that's not really an exact lesson of what to do, but sort of just explore that spot. So if I'm in D, which would be, it's not really there. But, yep. Back to normal. When I was growing up, it does, like a band in there, John, right? The right hand is very important. It's, that's the third thing I want to get to now. So, when I was growing up, I would play guitar and watch TV. And when the show was on, down to zero, sit on the couch and watch TV. A big part of, you can't practice guitar and be on social media because social media requires 100% of your attention all the time. But you were able to watch TV, you can still watch TV, and have your guitar on. And it would feel good. Guitar players know what I'm talking about. You just have it on. You watch TV, and the person on the TV says, coming up next on Dateline, remember the mechanic who said he'd never been to Darcy's house? You're like, okay, cool, this is going to be exciting. After this. And then it's a car commercial. And then you sit up, and you go... You're like, whoa, I can do that. I just didn't for a while, and now I can. And there's a spirit in that moment where you're like, what would I play first? That is you sort of finding your vocabulary. And whatever you choose to play, there's a reason you choose to play it. And what I like doing now is just sort of like, well, what would I play if I played? And the reason that's a good thing to do is because you don't get stuck in the rote mechanics of soloing based on the shapes. So if you were in, let's pick G, even just that one chord, how would you come in on that? I mean, you could just start throwing shapes at it. Ah. Let's go to 4. Now that's a mistake, but it's good. So I'll do it again. Do it major. The point is, if you can sing it, you can play it. And there's the last little part I want to tell you about. So there's these things that are guitar-only licks, meaning they don't really exist in any other instrument. And the question would be why? The answer might be because they don't really sound good as much as they feel good to play. I'm going to show you lick offender number 1. This is a fun guitar thing to do. I don't really understand the genesis of it or the need to do it. So let's do this in A. This is the bend I don't understand. That one I don't get. And the reason I don't get it is because would a voice do it? Sort of. It's not really vocal. And so a lot of what I've been playing lately is really vocal. And the way that you can get more vocal in your playing is very simply, number 1, listen to a lot of blues singers. If you want to be a blues guitar player, listen to a lot of blues singers. Most of what I play are, well, half of what I play, I think I'm thinking about someone singing. And B.B. King live at the Regal. It's like a better, well, it's both an incredible vocal record and a guitar record. But at first you're like, what a great guitar record. And then you realize his singing is just as good as his guitar playing. They're the same thing. One is just vocalized and one is played on the guitar. And you start to get these microtonal things. So, microtonal stuff. Do you hear how that's not correct in terms of being perfectly in pitch? That's all very vocal stuff.